Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, TV shows, I don't know, what have you. So here we go, I reckon. Oh yeah. So for this video, I'll just do a quick little thing here where I guess I'll just talk about a certain character whom I mentioned quite a few times before and whatnot, but I guess it's to be a bit more specific, I guess. And yes, that's considering the character of Elsa. The from either way, it doesn't matter which movie, the first or second, it doesn't really matter, really. But anyway, but I just kind of feel like in some ways when a lot of people bring this character up, it's just feel like they're maybe overly focused on her powers, and that's about it, really. She has these ice powers. She has these ice powers. Oh, they're reflecting on her emotions, and that's about it, really. And how okay, maybe if not that, we're talking about the dresses. Why, yes, in both of these films, and I'm pretty sure in Frozen 3 and 4, she's gonna have like a bunch of different dresses. She's gonna have like so many dresses, and which in itself is fine, but I do feel like people are really hyper focused on that as well, and nothing really, not much else. Oh, maybe talk about the makeup she wear, the type of makeup she would wear, and that that's about it really. And I've just heard a lot of people talk about that a lot, which honestly does annoy me. I'm like, you realize that there is more to the character than just like from the more shadow perspective, right? It's not just oh pretty and that's it. Oh, and those ice powers, of course, and that's about it, really. And anyway, just want to go, I guess, a bit more in detail. Anyway, I know I've discussed this character and her powers before. Don't get me wrong, but usually, more often than not, is defending these movies because a lot of people just take these movies out of context. Really. So if anyone wants to look up on my YouTube channel me discussing the Frozen films, it's usually just defending these movies for more times than I can count, really. But anyway, in Disney's Frozen, I guess you could say a bit more specific in the first one. I guess in some ways, the second one too, and to some extent, but more specifically in the first film, Elsa's journey of self acceptance and empowerment does serve as a profound exploration of identity, specifically self identity. Just going into deeply with the audiences quite a bit, of course, and that's fine. And yes, initially I can argue that Queen Elsa is portrayed as a character that's burdened by fear and isolation due to her magical abilities, of course. And that's the thing, her powers do play into part plot, which she does struggle to control and conceal. Yes, obviously, it's something it's very difficult for her to accept, of course. Anyway, moreover is that yes, obviously, from a very young age, her abilities are, let's just say, are something that set her apart from the others, from her family, and yes, the villagers as well. Yes, of course, this is a very dangerous thing, quite obviously, leading to a life of just, yes, being repulsed, I guess you can say, feeling disgusted, self doubt. Yes, of course. Not only that, to complicate things even further, again referring to the first film, where she's of royalty. That in itself carries a lot of weight on the character. She's of royalty. When it comes to people really high up in class, there's lots of, yeah, responsibilities. Not only that, for the villagers as well, by which I mean there's also social expectations. Yes, lots of social expectations. So a lot of people will look up to her. I mean, up they discover that she has powers, but anyway, there's of course family. There's also family pressure, of course, family pressure as well, and there's that, especially expectations from that. So there's pressures from that to almost confirm further into the her life, which of course complicates the experience even further, which just plants the seeds of this internal conflict as she grapples with her identity. So it really goes into that in a lot of ways, of course. And like I said, I guess in some ways, I'm really going to more in the first one than the second one, really, if anything. As the narrative would unfold in the first one, I guess particularly doing that one scene where Elsa finally builds her ice castle and sings the song Let It Go, she pretty much undergoes this significant transformation, quite literally, because she comes off way more confident in this moment forward in a lot of ways. And I mean, this doesn't mean she doesn't have self doubt later, but because that does come into play. But you can tell there's a drastic difference, of course. This moment does mark a turning point in her journey, symbolizing her decision to really embrace herself, her true self, find herself and her powers, rather than just hiding, of course, and whatnot. She sets the constraints of her royal duty to some extent and social norms and wants to be herself in a lot of ways, from celebrating her uniqueness and identity, her individuality, rather than just being into conformity, I guess, to some extent. Anyway, this act of liberation does really act in a powerful way with the audiences, of course. Reflecting on these universal themes of self discovery and the courage to embrace your own true self. And this is definitely a good thing here because, in a lot of ways, you can say it doesn't matter if you're a woman, you can be a man and still feel a lot of ways connected to this, which, yes, I do think is a good thing, of course. And you can apply this to like pretty much everybody, right? And you don't even have to be from the same race, of course. You can be from Mexico, you can be from Cuba. She's technically Norwegian, but that doesn't matter really. You can still relate to the character. It's how the character is written, is what I'm saying. It's how the character is done. That's what I'm trying to talk about here. You still feel a lot of relatability at the end of the day. It's how it's written. Elsa's empowered journey not only encapsulates the struggle for identity, but also heightens the importance of acceptance, both self-acceptance and acceptance from others, like from your family, friends, of course. As she learns to channel her powers constructively, of course, very constructively, not to abuse her powers. She begins to understand her abilities uh, do not define her worth. Instead, her, her journey begins of one of understanding the this whole idea. It's gonna be pretty complicated. It's a pretty complex idea to go through it. That it is magnified, involving, and of course can be enchanted by both strengths and maybe have a sense of vulnerability, of course, which in some ways you can see in the film. This message does embrace the individual's true self and has a particularly strong uh, sense for the viewers in a lot of ways, of course, and that's great. And the viewers, whoever watches this movie, can actually relate to this character as their own paths of finding their own identity to be related to maybe the character, their individual's gender, maybe someone's transitioning, maybe your culture, your sexuality, or any other dimension of sexuality. You can translate this in multiple ways, of course, in a lot of ways, actually. Moreover, Elsa's relations with her sister, Princess Anna, yes, I didn't, of course, forget about that, does solve an important parallel to her journey, while both characters face their own struggles in their own way. But the thing is that Anna's unwaveringly love and support does play a crucial role in a lot of ways in helping Elsa find the courage to be herself, because obviously Princess Anna never left her. Princess Anna went with her no matter what, very dedicated. This aspect of a relationship does reinforce the idea, and it that empowered is often can be a connection and acceptance in a lot of relationships. This alone can be used for acceptance for like yourself and the people around you. They're all people who will love you no matter what, and that's pretty amazing when you think about it. So of course, that's definitely a good thing. Obviously, even though I guess technically speaking, Princess Anna, she's the main character. Prince Maud is technically Princess Anna, even though Queen Elsa does get a lot of the attention, of course. Ultimately, Elsa's story transcends the boundaries. I guess the yeah, I guess that the of a generic run of the mill fairy tale. It goes beyond that. It transcends that. It becomes like a powerful narrative of the importance of self acceptance in a world that often pushes individuality and conform. There's like an anti conformity kind of a thing, which is fine by me because I don't like conformity anyway. I like that. I don't like being bossed around. I should know. Anyway, her journey upon including courage, the honesty to recognize your own self and honor your true uniqueness and empowers them to face their own fears and embrace their own identities unapologetically. Love yourself unapologetically. So what I'm saying is that the first Frozen film not only entertains but also serves as a vessel for the cultural, uh, I guess, milestone for some a lot of people. For a lot of people, really, for anyone that's gripping with own sense of self in a crazy wide world, and just trying to think of ways you can really find yourself and really find who you are. And that one strength lies within yourself and embracing one true, authentic identity, of course, whatnot. So, okay, there's that. All right, folks. And yeah, that's the thing that I really want to discuss. I mean, more, there's more things I'm going to talk about when it comes to this kind of a thing because, I mean, yes, when you find your, once you find your true self, yes, you can still be a downfall sometimes. You can still make mistakes, okay? But you can be confident, okay? You can be definitely be confident, of course. Just because you have found yourself doesn't mean there aren't any scary situations. That's not gonna wipe out all the scary situations. It's still gonna happen, unfortunately, of course. But all right, I did say that I was gonna make this video short. I'm just ramming it on here, but it just sounds. I could go more. I could talk about more about this if I wanted to, really, but I guess I'll leave it at that. So, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh, yeah, later, folks.